Do you know what, Harry?
What?
I'm tired of losing out on psychological mind games to Simon. I'm tired of that guy playing with my mind.
100, but he's a pesky bastard. That I can't say bastard
Pesky
stuff.
guy. So today we're going to look at 15 psychological facts. That will blow your mind. And hopefully we get the upper hand.
Yes, we'll use it on him. We'll subdue him mentally. Okay.
15 psychological facts that will blow your mind. The field of psychology looks at the science of the mind and behavior. Studies trying to understand why we are the way we are have been going on for decades. Some study findings are more fascinating than others. Did you know that punctuating in your text messages makes you come across as insincere? Strap yourself in.
Does it?
You're in
Wait,
for
hang
a
on a
wild...
minute. No, it doesn't. If someone
It makes you come
punctuates
across
their
as
sentence,
educated.
yeah. Well, I don't like it. If someone puts a full stop in a text to me, I don't really like it. I'm not a big fan of it.
Maybe that's what he means by the insincere.
Yeah.
Give me an emoji instead or some shit.
Following psychology facts could just explain or confirm some of the things you see in yourself or others.
Okay.
Number 1. If we have a plan B, our plan A is less likely to work.
Really?
Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania studied the performance of volunteers on a certain task and found that participants who thought about a backup plan did worse than those who didn't. They also found that when participants realized they had other options, their motivation decreased.
I can understand the second bit.
I know. I get the theory is probably correct, right? But surely there's still a chance that Plan A fails, and then you're
There's always a
scuppered because you've got no. Then you got no Plan B.
Exactly.
So yeah, the chances of Plan A going right is better, but the downside is worse because you have no Plan B.
Tell him again.
Yeah.
Expectancy theory, which was developed by Victor H. Vroom in 1964. Expectancy theory basically states that your motivation for something is a function of whether you expect to be successful at it. Inherent in a backup plan is that you're not going to succeed the first time around.
Damn.
Researchers say it's important to think ahead.
But surely that just means the plan wasn't good enough in the first place. If you have to have a backup plan, then it's like, okay, this might work, but it probably won't.
I think don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know better than these scientists, but I would always like to have a Plan B. Maybe I don't know.
Number 2, catching a yawn could help us bond.
Okay,
What does that mean?
The workday has just
Like
begun,
when you yawn and then someone else yawns.
Oh, you bond you together. Okay.
and you're ready to get lots done. You're sitting at your cubicle during your morning meeting when the guy next to you lets out a big, loud, obnoxious yawn.
Oh,
Before
not an
you know
obnoxious
it,
one.
you're yawning yourself, but you're not even tired. That's a response yawn. There are various theories explaining why yawns are contagious. One of the leading ones being that response yawns demonstrate empathy.
What?
This explains why young children that haven't yet developed a sense of empathy, or those on the autism spectrum, are less
got
likely
teeth like
to
me.
respond to yawn.
Or-
Number 3.
What did we call you again? The younger you?
I don't know. What? Not Squidget Harry. The
Squidget
Harry.
Harry.
team. Yeah, the Squidget Harry.
Squidget
team.
Harry.
Yeah.
Care more about a single
The Bugs
person
Bunny
than
teeth.
about
I
massive
suffered
tragedies.
badly with them.
In another University of Pennsylvania study, researchers...
This University of
unis look the
Pennsylvania seems to know.
same.
It knows a bit too much, you know. I don't know if I want some
on
other
people's
sources.
behavior, as it related to donating to causes based on certain stimuli. One
Okay.
group was shown a starving young girl. The second group was told a statistic about millions of people dying of hunger. And the
Okay.
third group was taught about both. Those who heard only about the statistic donated the least, followed by
Fair
those
enough.
who heard
Makes
about
sense.
both. Those who heard about the little girl donated double what the statistic group did.
That's empathy, no?
Psychologists attribute this to the fact that if a problem feels too big, we feel helpless and
Yeah, I
insignificant.
can understand that.
Like
I
our
can understand
efforts
that.
won't have any payoff.
I hear that.
In this case, helping save one starving girl seems more attainable than ending world hunger.
Hmm.
Number 4, beginnings and ends are easier to remember than middles. Have you ever been
Because
grocery
we all zone out in the middle. The beginning, you're just getting into it, and the end, you know it's wrapping up. And it's the most recent bit as well.
When trying to remember things without it, you can visualize it and remember things close to the beginning and the end. But the things in the middle are a little fuzzy. A study in the
Okay.
frontiers of human neuroscience confirmed this. It's called the serial position effect.
Yeah.
It's also why you might remember the end of your manager's presentation, but the middle, not so much. So it really is a thing, and you may not have ADHD after all.
So that what has taught you is if you're talking to someone, make sure that the start captures their attention, and then you summarize well at the end, because then they'll get the whole thing. No, they'll leave knowing everything.
Nothing has blown my mind yet.
But I thought it'd be something mental. This is just like stuff I feel like is obvious. It'd take 5 positive things to outweigh a single negative thing. You know what? Sounds about right.
It takes 5 positive things to outweigh a single negative thing. You might have heard the advice to start and end your day by thinking about a few things you're grateful for. This helps keep us balanced because we have what's called a negativity bias.
Yeah.
Ever wonder why food always tastes better when mom makes it?
I'm gonna assume you're self-critical. So when I cook something myself, I'm too self-critical of my own food. Is what I'm gonna assume the answer
I'm gonna
is.
assume you get used to eating it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tastes better whenever anyone else makes it, assuming
you're
they're
right.
a decent chef. Researchers attribute this to the fact that when you're preparing a meal for yourself, by the time you're ready to eat, it's been so long that it's less exciting. And as a result, you enjoy it less.
You were closer.
Number 7. We'd rather know that something bad is coming than not know what to expect.
Would we?
Have you ever felt a drop in your stomach when someone says, "We need to talk"?
Oh, yeah.
Your mind is immediately
Yeah, it's a good
flooded
point,
with
actually.
a
Yeah,
million
that's a good
different
point.
bad things it could be about. If it's a romantic partner, you'd probably rather they just break up with you then and there. If it's your boss, you'd rather they just fire you on the spot.
Yeah, you don't want to have like, oh yeah, but the boss said, oh yeah, I
Questioning
want
it
to
is
chat
the
at
worst bit. Yeah.
chat at the end of the week. Yeah, long day, long day.
Yeah.
Prefer knowing something bad is going to happen over uncertainty. This is because when our brain doesn't know what to expect, it goes into overdrive trying to predict any possible
The worst, man, I
consequences,
hate it.
both good and bad. Number 8. When one rule seems too strict, we want to break more.
I feel like this
In the cycle,
applies to you.
Yeah, but I think but it applies to everyone. Surely, if you were somewhere and you thought, oh, that rules, you were say where you're at. Say you're at the cinema.
Yeah.
And they say, oh yeah, you're not allowed to. I don't know. You're not allowed to go to the toilet. You're banned from going to the toilet. You'd be like, fuck this cinema, man. I'll do what I want. I'll go to the toilet.
You're actually right.
I'll
It does
bring my own
apply to
snacks
everyone.
in.
people tend to break more rules when they feel like certain freedoms are being limited in an effort to regain the freedom that they perceive as being taken away. This is best illustrated in teenagers. When grounded, not only might they sneak out, but they may end up engaging in other risky
Smoking
behaviors as a
pipes.
form of reactance. Number 9. There's a reason we want to squeeze cute things.
Oh, do
Okay,
tell. I mean,
explain
you're
Puppies
this.
and babies.
Yeah.
Don't you just want to love them and squeeze them and cuddle with them? Well, apparently,
Okay.
that's a
Kick 'em.
natural reaction, and it's known as cute aggression. According to an article in the Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience, the idea behind cute aggression is that when we're overcome with positive feelings, like those elicited by an adorable pup
Oh,
or
that's a
baby,
ratty dog,
a
that
tad
is.
bit of
was
aggression
dead cute.
balances out those overwhelming feelings so that we don't harm innocent little beings. Number 10.
But we
the
actually want to
unintentional-
fully
No, we-
squish them to bits. Is that
Yeah.
what they're saying?
My mind's still not blown.
But this one might. We unintentionally believe what we want to believe.
believe what we want to believe.
Explain.
Confirmation bias is the tendency to interpret facts in a way that confirms what we already believe.
Oh yeah.
This
Well, yeah.
explains why people with certain political views prefer certain news outlets over others. Forget even trying to get Uncle Fred to change his stance on international relations. Not only does confirmation bias lead us to seek out information that agrees with what we already believe, but it also causes us to reject contradictory information.
So, newsflash, people want to be right.
Yeah. That's essentially it.
Okay. I'm
Some
about
people-
this close to clicking off this video, Harry. This
Hey,
close.
well, no. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it still. It's
11.
just it's,
You're programmed to most love the
It's
music you
explaining
listen
stuff
to
in
in
different
high-
ways. I
It's
think.
telling us stuff we already know.
But in different ways. It's yeah. You're right.
I'm
you're
not
right,
going to
you're right.
win
But
against Simon like this.
You're programmed to most love the music you listen to in high school. Okay, there we go. So we could if we find out what Simon listened to in high school, we could lull him into a false sense of security, and then we pounce.
Okay.
Good music triggers the release of dopamine and other feel-good chemicals. "This is my jam," said every teenager at a party at some point ever.
Oh, also, I've got to the point now I don't listen to new music. I just
Bro,
listen to the old
welcome,
songs I used to
welcome
like back
to
in the
the
day.
club.
Yeah, I just don't like any new. I don't like the new music coming out, man. I don't like what these kids are listening to. I'm not a fan of it.
We're actually between the ages of 12 and 22, when the importance of everything feels magnified, music included. Studies show that we connect to the music we bonded to during our teenage years more so than we ever will as adults.
Oh, well,
despite
that's
the
a bit
passage of
sad.
time. Number
Does that mean
12.
I'm never going to enjoy music the same again?
Maybe not, maybe not.
Oh,
And
well,
was-
that's
but
depressing.
But no, I think it's not depressing. 'Cause I think the music that we grew up listening to was some bangers. So I think at least it was
Doesn't
that.
everyone think that about their time period?
Go on the Spotify top 50 nowadays. It's shite. It's TikTok
Listen,
songs
Harry, I
and
agree.
remixes of other songs.
I
yeah.
agree, but these kids growing up to this music now, when they're our age, are going to be like, oh yeah, the music today is shit. The music I listen to is elite, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, well, they'd be wrong if they said they'd be wrong. They'd be wrong. The music right now is poo.
Yeah, but you just want to be
Memories
right.
are more like pieced
No,
together
no,
pictures
it's pooping.
than accurate snapshots. False memories are something that you recall in your mind, but aren't actually true,
I hate
either in
these.
whole or in part.
Yeah.
An example could be believing you started the dishwasher before
Oh,
you left
every
for
night
work,
for me. This is every
when you
night
really
for me.
didn't. This is because our brains can sometimes
Don't
inaccurately
wash your
fill
dishes
in the
by
blank.
hand.
No, I don't wash my dishes by hand. I'm not. What? I'm not in the. What do you think? Do you wash your dishes by hand?
Listen, as soon as you finish your food, just wash it up rather than let it
No, I've
build
got a
up
dishwasher.
and then
No.
wait 2 hours for the dishwasher to do it.
I'll live my day and put everything in the dishwasher as the day goes on, and then overnight I'll put the dishwasher on, and then I'll wake up the next day and everything's clean.
When it only remembers the gist of what happened. Number 13. We look for human faces,
Oh, this is true.
even
This is
in
true.
inanimate objects.
Like houses and stuff. You see?
Pareidolia is the tendency to
think I
perceive
looked for them, I just
specific,
noticed them.
often meaningful
Yeah.
images, such as faces, in random or ambiguous visual patterns. A common example is the man in the moon. Some scientists attribute it to the fact that, as social beings, recognizing faces is so important that we'd rather create one where it doesn't exist than miss a real one that does. Number 14.
okay.
People rise to our high expectations and don't rise if we have low ones.
Okay.
The Pygmalion effect is a psychological phenomenon in which high expectations lead to improved performance. In a famous study in the 1960s, researchers told teachers that random students had high potential according to their scores on an IQ test. They found that those identified as high potential students did end up becoming high achievers, at least in part due to their teachers' heightened expectations.
Huh.
Number
Okay.
15. Our brain doesn't think long-term deadlines are so important.
This is me.
This is
I
absolutely
just,
me. Until the
everything into
last
the
minute,
last,
bro.
Yeah, but it's because I know I can get it done. Like I know, like it's really, like I know in the end I'll get it done. So like it's just.
Are you one of the
but
people though that works better when it's like last minute?
Or maybe I'm just telling myself that. Maybe I'm just telling myself. But like I used to do it in school. I used to literally be up the whole night before doing everything. Like
You could probably start on that big project for work or school now, but you've got several months. Before you know it, those months are gone, and you're scrambling to cram months' worth of work into a matter of days. Urgent, unimportant tasks are more appealing. They provide instant gratification because they're quicker and easier to cross off your to-do list. Our brains process short-term deadlines, like those measured in days, better than long-term ones such as months or years. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up.
I'm gonna say it again. I wasn't blown away. My mind was not blown
I
away.
was not. Yeah, it was interesting, but it did not blow my mind. If I wasn't doing this for lovely people watching SidemenReacts, I would not have watched this video. I would have clicked off.
So Simon
Yeah,
still
that
has
was,
the upper hand.
He does. That bloody minter.